Hey guys, welcome back. Mechanicus got some big changes. So, just put out a review and I was talking about patch 1.0.7 in the review being for the PTR, but looks like not too long ago today it's live. Current and PTR builds. What I have here is the Google Doc where all their changes are, and I'm just going to run through this because in addition to some of the ones that I pointed out, there's some other bug fixes that they were able to jump on. So yeah, I'm going to run through this because I like that game and I'm glad they keep updating it as quickly as they do. That's awesome. First one right off the bat, fixed duplicate portraits. Now you will always have the same portrait for your priests. I brought that up in my review, the instance of mission rewards showing this image of a tech priest. You can click on a couple different screens, go back to the mission reward, and it'll have changed. In a game, you reload that save file and they've changed. Essentially, what it seemed to be was they had 6 different images for tech priests, and you could get a duplicate. Mind you, the very first game I had 3 dudes with the same picture because I just didn't know. But they have 6 different portraits, and what seemed to happen is you would load your save and it would load them up appropriately. Then if you reloaded that same save while you were in it, or if you did kind of the mission progress tech thing, they would go to the next one in line until it just kept resetting. Glad that that's fixed. Damage canticles do not affect mechadendrites anymore. Cant of the Craft and incantations of the Iron Soul cannot be applied to mechadendrites. In fact, Infestus mechadendrites can no longer be buffed in any way. Festus was always intended to be unbuffable. Well, that's just like your opinion, man. No, I mean, I can't say it's that big of a deal. You had certain canticles which give you plus 12 damage to the next attack, plus 9 physical damage on the next attack. And I guess people were buffing them, or there was the possibility that you could buff them. Never used mine like that. I think I used them in my second playthrough just because I never found a cognition mechadendrite until kind of like 30-40% of the way in. But the cognition one is so overpowered. I don't know, the 1, 2, or 3 damage from the different tiers, like, no thanks. Servo Skull skill description on load now correctly shows you Servo Skull's info after loading into a saved game. I'm not sure if this is talking about in a mission, like the tooltip would change, or in the augment screen. In the augment screen, the very top right, you can review the guy's Servo Skull and you can't take it out. Possibly that was getting messed up. I never ran into that issue. I kind of stopped reading the tooltip for the Servo Skull. Hidden platform showing heads-up display weapon preview. Now, more immersion and also less breaking your eyes. Gotta be honest, guys, I have no idea what this is talking about. Hidden platforms showing HUD weapon preview. I have no idea. This is the big one. This touches on what my biggest issue was in my review, the leveling up upgrade bug. So this one's proving really hard to find. We've applied a blind fix, which means we've had to assume what the cause of the issue is and fix it blindly. No promises the bug is resolved, but if you no longer experience it, then it worked. If you do, please let us know as many steps that you took leading up to the bug. If you happen to capture it on video, that'll be a great help. Thank you. I'll try and get in contact with them because I recorded, and I have all my gameplay recorded and the stream where it happened to me 2 or 3 hours in. But yeah, I spoke about that in my review. Essentially, you go to upgrade one of your tech priests. The screen that comes up confirming or denying that upgrade, you click confirm and it doesn't go away. Normally it does. and you click confirm again, yes, and it'll take you to the screen it's supposed to have taken you prior, but you don't spend any of your Blackstone. That tech priest, the level doesn't increase, or the rank doesn't increase. He doesn't get any more augment slots, but he gets the ability. So it's kind of weird. You can get all of those abilities for free, but you don't get the rank up or the augment slot to really take advantage of it. It happened kind of a lot, forcing me to save my game every time. Forcing me to save my game every time I finished a mission, just because every time it happened I had to reload. But that's glad. Hopefully they kind of got it in that shotgun approach there. Functionality. Camera reset after destroying a Necron panel. For those of you that watched my stream or the review, I think a couple times in there in the review and definitely in the stream, there's times when I've destroyed the Necron panel, and essentially what happens is the camera just, I thought it was moving to the middle, but apparently it's random. It just, hey, destroyed a panel over here, and then it does this. Super goofy. Glad that's fixed. Refresh rate not saving in the settings menu. Thank you. Tooltips not playing nice and high res. No more off-screen tooltips. Bless. English language errors. Successfully successful. English language cleaner. English blah blah blah. Energeia. Enhancers T2, T3 named wrongly. Here was patch 1.0.6. And I'll go through some of these because some of these are important as well. These two. So I think Videx and Scaevola are the names of the two people. Essentially, they're the ones that offer you the quest lines. If you follow one of them to the end, you get his quest. Follow the other one to the end, you get his quest. Now, you never got their achievements. So on my Steam profile, I don't have either of their achievements, even though I've done them. And glad that they got that fixed. Skitarii Ranger Alpha Power Sword, now with more spirit. There's so much spirit, we have to make sure these guys aren't getting drunk. I don't know what this means. Did they, with more spirit, so they either increased or decreased the amount of attacks it takes to get to the machine spirit attack, which again, each weapon has a different number attached to it, but you need to use that weapon X amount of times in order to activate its machine spirit, which is a buff, essentially. So reading this with more spirit, I don't know if that machine spirit happens more often or less often, or if the buff is increased. Not sure. Skitarii Vanguard damage type, things are going to get physical. They were a melee energy-based unit, which I thought was kind of cool. It seemed like they were tasing people. Mechadendrites can now attack Necron panels. So this one I felt like I could attack them, they just never dealt any damage. And maybe that's what they're talking about here. You could hit the Necron panels with the Mechadendrites, it just would never deal any damage to them. But whatever. Dominus, enhanced in this one. Okay, so these two, enhanced enhancers and enhanced generator. On the Explorator and the Dominus line, well, for you it'd be the reverse. I think it's the fourth ability you get, maybe the third, where the support item doesn't cost any cognition points to use. These are the items I spoke about in the review. They start at 2 and then go to 3 and then 4. But hey, just pop them because they're free. They increase the energy damage you're dealing for the remainder of the round. And this led to that kind of build of just one-shotting everything. Now, this is saying it does not decrease the CP cost of those weapons. This is interesting because that ability did nothing else as far as I'm aware. I thought all it did was reduces the CP cost by 1, and it went from 1 to 0 from tier 2, 3, and 4. So I have no idea what this ability does now. I don't think it came with any other buffs as far as I'm remembering. But overall, that's not what the problem was. The problem wasn't CP, because you could generate more than enough. And putting a 2 CP tax on every unit that goes is not the fix for that. The fix, in my opinion, is those weapons deal a little bit too much damage and they hit too many targets. And also keep in mind the third canticle that I would always take, the first one being the max out the machine spirits for everyone and then ignore X amount of armor in the next attacks. Ignore all armor for the next X amount of attacks. The final one was always that gain 9 cognition points. And I didn't even need to use that. I had more than enough cognition points to move my dudes everywhere, to do whatever I wanted. That slight tax on everybody's turn is not gonna stop that. You can generate it so fast that putting a 2 CP tax, like, again, I feel like I'm just rambling over myself, but yeah, those energy weapons deal a little bit too much damage. Maybe set it so that you can't equip the same item twice, because getting 2 of the heavy phosphor blasters, you destroy everything. And especially as you get further and further into late game, where you have a 2 cognition point mechadendrite or a 3 cognition point mechadendrite, and you can stack those up. You move into melee, pull 5 or 6 cognition points off the melee guy, move a tile away, blast everything, gain cognition points because you're killing stuff, gain more cognition points because the Necrons like have an innate one when they go down. Yeah, I don't know. Good change in the right direction, but I don't think that's not going to stop that build that I had. Destroyers shoot through walls, destroyers freeze the game. Never had this issue, but glad it's being fixed. Dominus Rights of Range. So this was a ability that I got on all of them. I didn't know it was broken. But this one gives you bonus damage, bonus crit chance, more range, and the only limitation is you can't have a melee weapon, which who cares? But I didn't know that wasn't working. I guess I never tested it out exclusively. Can't close the Awakening pop-up in battle. Never had that issue. Tech Auxilium. Never even touched this tech tree because the Dominus one was so oppressive. Varguard swap skill, full screen ambient occlusion, not saved. These worked for me. Some changes with the arenas. Blurry text and equipment tooltips. That's good. Russian. More changes here. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to touch on the 2 newest ones. The next one's about a week prior to that, so awesome. I love how fast they're putting out these patches. I can't wait for more content or a new game plus or a hard mode or Iron Man mode or something like that to kind of mix it up. Yeah, again, definitely check out this game. It's a budget title. It's amazing production qualities for the price that it is, and the devs are supporting it. What more can you ask for? It's great. Definitely check it out. Peace, guys.
What are you talking about?